All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This video is an announcement. I wanted to say a quick announcement, but I never know how long I'll be talking for. So let's hope it will be quick, but it will be an announcement. That part of it is for sure. What am I announcing? I'm announcing the decision to offer a course this year. The seminar will begin and end before the end of this year, 2025. I was partly motivated by an interview I did with a Canadian university recently, and they offered me a teaching position, but for some practical reasons, considerations, I declined that offer. But I kept thinking about how much I miss teaching. And the thing that I miss teaching the most is this area that is very niche, even within academic psychology. The area I'm referring to is usually described as history and philosophy of psychology. History and philosophy of psychology. It is niche even within academic psychology because psychologists who use the experimental method, who use modeling approaches, computer models of the mind, neural networks, or other kinds of quantitative methods in social psychology, the survey method, use constructs and use statistical models to describe relationship between variables. They are not really interested in this way of approaching psychology, raising questions about what psychology is in general, how it is related to other human social sciences, what it can offer, how it is connected to other disciplines like sociology, its relationship to psychoanalysis. Those questions are usually repressed in favor of focusing and continuing pursuing questions within subfields. But for some of us, the question of what psychology is in general is a persistent question. And that also highlights the historical dimension of our discipline. It's one foot in the humanities and the other foot in the sciences. It's complicated relationship with the natural sciences. It's, imitating the methods of the natural and physical sciences, like imitating sometimes in a mindless way. But anyways, what I'm pointing out to is this interest that some of us have in history and philosophy of psychology, and this is the theme, the topic of my seminar. The seminar is something that I can only offer once a year because of my other commitments, because of the time, limitations of time, because I'd like to offer it without being under too much time pressure. I still have a full-time job, my full-time employment, that I'd like to do a good job on that front. I have my Saturday reading group, which is relaxed. We meet every Saturday, but it's more exploratory, more collective, the Saturday reading group. This is more, the seminar is going to be more focused, and I'm going to wear that hat of an instructor, a guide, a facilitator even more. I'm going to wear that hat more firmly than compared to how I'm wearing it on my Saturday reading group. That on the Saturday reading group, I'm really half wearing it, and it's kind of not fully attached to my head, and I'm ready to take it off. Anyways, let's not stretch the metaphor too far. So I'm going to, for this year, I have decided to use a single text, a single book as our primary source, and I'm going to rely on other sources and recommend other sources along the way. But the main text that I'd like to read through, do a close reading of, and discuss together, and ask questions, and read critically together, is a book that I really love. It's very interesting, very rich book called Catching Up with Aristotle, A Journey in Quest of General Psychology, by the Danish philosopher and psychologist. I should have said psychologist. The philosopher was a Freudian slip. Niels Engelstedt, Professor Niels Engelstedt. The book is, relatively speaking, short. It has The main part of the text is about 120 pages, and it is followed by two commentaries. One very sympathetic commentary and another very critical commentary by Aro Tomela. The sympathetic commentary is by Jens Mammen. Despite its short length, it's dense, it's full of insights, and it has a sense of humor. The text, the style has a sense of humor that I really appreciate. I really enjoy. It's a very scholarly sense of humor. So Engelstedt is informed by philosophy, psychoanalysis, more specifically in philosophy, German idealism, dialectical reason, and what is known as activity theory, which is an offshoot of German idealism in Russia, in the hands of people like Vygotsky and Leontiev. So Leontiev is a big name, big influence in this work. The other works that are optional for the participants, but I will be relying on, is this earlier work, Essays in General Psychology, 7 Danish Contributions. It contains an important essay by Engelstedt, and Engelstedt's later or more recent book, in which he attempts to synthesize his own general theory of psychology with the works of Jens Mammen. So this is Niels Engelstedt, and this is Jens Mammen. They both have proposed frameworks for thinking about psychology as a general domain, as a general field of knowledge. This was originally a series of letters sent daily, a collection of 212 daily letters, and I was fortunate to have been one of the recipients of those 212 letters. And for that reason, because I was part of that project and the eventual publication of the work, I have an introduction to this volume. A few pages, I think about 6-7 pages. Yeah, my introduction. But the main point about this volume is Engelstedt's own writing. Okay, a couple of practical notes. I will leave a link to the descriptions of the course, the seminar. You can click on that link to learn more about my plans. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Feel free to email me. I'll leave my email here on display. You can email me to ask questions. There is a nominal fee if you cannot afford that. If it's too much for you, if it is a financial burden, feel free to email me and we can set an amount that you're comfortable with. For me, your participation, your attendance is more important than the amount that you end up paying for the course. If you are a member, a long-time member, long-time meaning more than a year and a half. If you have been a long-time member of my reading group, which meets on Saturdays at noon Eastern Time, if you're a long-time member of that group, you're welcome to join free of charge. In fact, I don't want you to pay. If you have been a supporter of my work on Patreon and you've been a member of the reading group, I would be more than happy to have you in this seminar. If you're interested in general psychology, history, and philosophy of psychology, I think it would be interesting and maybe complement some of the things we discuss in the reading group. What else? What else am I failing to address? I think everything else we can address with your comments and questions. Again, this is something I'm hoping to do every year to maximize the space for participation for everybody, for all the participants. I am limiting enrollment to 12 people. And first come, first serve. That's it. Thank you very much for listening, for your attention, for your engagement with my YouTube channel. And I look forward to speaking with you next time.